I don't think I've said this about any deck that I currently own, that it's not a meta deck. Hey guys, Tom Warrior here, and today I'm bringing you my Dinomist Ancient Gear deck profile. I just want to start off by saying that this is a bit more of a funner deck for me. I mean, Dinomist is really powerful. The Ancient Gear is in there just more for the troll aspect of it, but it does work really well, I find, together. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so first let's do the Dinomist cards. You play three from here. You play three Spinos. This card is your OTK engine of the deck. Its effect is if you can either destroy a Dinomist card, and it can attack your opponent directly. And if you if you destroy a card, you can attack twice in the same phase. Now, that sounds pretty good, but what most people don't realize is that if you have two other cards beside him, and they're both Dinomist, and he pops both of them, he can attack your opponent directly for 5,000 damage, which is ridiculously powerful. So if your opponent has a wall that he's built up to try to stop it, Spinosaurus will go right over it. It's incredibly powerful. The way that the pendulums work in the Dinomist deck is that instead of Spinosaurus being destroyed or any other Dinomist card being destroyed, they can take the hit themselves, so it keeps Dinomist protected, which is great. He is a fantastic card, and I just wish he was kind of hollow just for the nostalgia of having a cool hollow monster. Next, we play three copies of Rex. Rex, another really good monster. Similar effect to Spinos, where if there's another Dinomist card, he can attack twice, or he can make your opponent discard a card. He's in the deck because he is a rank 3, and this deck only has rank 3s and 6s, so having the rank 3s is good. But yeah, like I said, he's in his own right another good beat stick. Next, we play three Brachion. This card is fantastic if your opponent if you control no Dinomist cards and your opponent controls a card with the highest attack, meaning that you can have other cards on the field as long as it's another Dinomist card. This card can special summon himself from your hand, and being a rank 5, that's instantly half of an infinity. So automatically he's great. As well, he's not a pushover. I mean, he's got 2,000 attack, which is great, and he's a 6 pendulum scale. So great card to have. I love him. If I see him usually turn 2 in my draw, I'm always happy. Next, we play two Ceratops. Sorry, couldn't remember what he's called. You could play three of them. The reason I play only two is because my deck is getting up towards the 55 card number, and I decided to drop one of them. But you could definitely play three of them. He's great because he's rank 3, so this gets out, Spinos, which is great. Spinos being a rank 3, like I said, is fantastic. Other than that, that's his main purpose in the deck. And he's a rank 5, so again, another infinity. So all four of those cards are rank 5, so they're instant infinity targets. And if just for their attack value. Next, in the rank 4s, we play three Peachin. This card is like your Rhoda of the deck, where it searches out Spinos normally. Let's be honest, it searches out Spinos. And he's 3 scale, so that's fantastic. And the other rank 4 that we play is 3 copies of Pletus. He is a rank 4. He's a pendulum scale 6, so he's great for getting out Brachion or Rex. As well, he also helps your monsters get over your opponent's cards. For all face-up monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense for each Dinomist card you control. So if you get Spinos out and you get Rex and your Brachion, your opponent might have a bit of a hard time trying to deal with them. Other than that, he's just, a good rank 4. So that's all the Dinomist cards that we play. And now, like I said, the other half of the deck is Ancient Gears. Now, I find that these cards mesh well together because with the pendulums being the way they are with 3s and 6s, I find it very easy to turn 1, spit out the cards that I need for my Ancient Gear beat sticks that I have in the deck, as well as the ability to get my howitzer out. So the beat sticks that we play are Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon and 2 copies of Ancient Gear Gatatron Dragon. Now the reason that these are in the deck, like I said, with pendulums being pendulums, these cards I can get them out really quick, either by sacrificing my Dinomist or my Ancient Gear cards. But also, when Howitzer dies, as I'll explain later, he'll summon these cards out, so they're fantastic. Each one of them is great. Next, we play 3 copies of Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. This is your polymerization of the deck for him and another card confused to get out Howitzer. So that's why I play him at 3, as well as just being a part of my burn idea of this deck for when he is summoned. He inflicts 600 burn damage to your opponent. And then when Howitzer is summoned and he activates, he inflicts 1,000. So 1,600 for very little effort. It's always very nice. Next, we play 2 copies of Ancient Gearbox. This card is great for just getting the combo going of getting out Howitzer. And being a rank 4, I can play him because he combos really well with the other Ancient Gear card, which is Ancient Gear Wyvern. So how the combo works is you play Ancient Gear Wyvern. When he's summoned, he adds a Ancient Gear card from your deck to your hand. So you search out Ancient Gear Box, which then allows you to search out Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. And there you have the material that you need to make Howitzer, and you have 1 card that could be useful to get out your Ancient Gear beat sticks when later down the turn. So that's it for the Ancient Gear cards of the deck. Like I said, Wyvern is key for the deck, as well as the beat sticks. Now, the beat sticks all have effects when you use Ancient Gear cards to summon them. So with the pendulums, so if you have a 3 and a 6, and you can spit out, at least 2 of these smaller Ancient Gear cards, you can summon the bigger guys, and they all have their nice effects. So for like Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon, if this card was tribute summoned by tributing an Ancient Gear monster, this card attacks defense position monsters, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. If this card was tribute summoned by tributing a gadget monster, which I don't have. So that's the effect of it. So these guys are useful. I like the synergy that the deck has. Next, we'll go on to our spell and traps. We have the standard Regeki, 1 our upstart goblin. Because the whole deck is machines, you obviously have to have 1 limiter removal. Next, we have the 3 Dinomist charge. This card allows you to recycle monsters that are in your pendulum zones back to your hand, as well as when it is when this card is activated, you can add 1 Dinomist monster from your deck to your hand. So it allows you to search out whatever you need. Next, we have 2 instant fusions, because we will play 2 instant fusion targets in the deck. Soul Charge, because Ancient Gear Howitzer does not say it can only be used once per turn. So if you have the 2 Ancient Gear cards, so Hound and just say Box, and you summon Howitzer, you play Soul Charge, you can bring them back and summon another Howitzer. So pretty useful. It's a good little nifty combo to have. Oops, keep bumping the camera. Next, we play two Twin Twisters for that back row clear, because Sometimes you don't want your scales to die, and Twin Twisters is a good way to avoid that. Gets rid of your Solemn Warning or Strike. Next, 2 Terraforming, because that searches out the 2 fusion gates. Just in case, like me, you never draw into Hunting Hound when you need them, so this is just my backup. And if you don't want to play Fusion Gate, you can play the gear field cards. But I like Fusion Gate because it allows me to summon Howitzer pretty quick, and it's very reliable. Next, we have Compulsory Evacuation Device, because some cards just can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, so just get rid of it. Send it back to your opponent's hand. Next, we have 1 Warning and 1 Strike. Pretty standard for any competitive deck. Then we play 3 Dinomist Rush. When this card's activated, you can special summon 1 Dinomist card from your deck to the field. So that's nice to get out Spinos or Rex or what have you. We have 3... I can't remember what it's called. Stormy Mirror Force. When your opponent tries to attack you, if you have your level 4s out, just send them back to your opponent's hand is always good. But because the deck doesn't really rely on the traps, I mean, yes, Rush is fantastic, but Charge is better. I have the 1 Royal Decree. Also helps deal with those pesky Paleozoic cards. And just prevents things like Torrential Tributes or Solemn and Warning. So this is another good card to have. So that is it for the spell and the trap cards. You could definitely, take a few of them out if you wanted. Like, you don't need the instant fusions. You don't need... not the instant fusions. You need the instant fusions. You don't need the terraforming. And you don't need the fusion gate. So if you don't want those, you can get rid of them. You could get rid of the Stormy Mirror Forces if you want, but I like them. And finally, let's go into the extra deck. Because we're playing 2 copies of Instant Fusion, we have Norden and Panzer Dragon. Norden's for the rank 4 plays, and Panzer Dragons to go into Infinity. Since we're talking about Infinity, we do play 2 copies of Infinity and 2 Novas. I apologize for the proxy. I was unable to get him for the last few weeks from my local card shop, so he is on order. He is coming, but I just was too excited to bring you this deck profile, and I didn't want to wait for, a few more days. Next, we have 1 Gaia, the Thunder Charger. He's in here because he can be played over a rank 5. So he's just a great card to have. 2600 attack. And he does piercing damage, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So that's nice. Next we have Tyrus, Keeper of Genesis. So normally what I do is, if I have to and I can go into Infinity or Nova for whatever reason, I'll go into Tyrus. He'll protect himself for the 2 turns, and then I'll overlay into Gaia with him. Next we have Volcanosaurus. Volcanosaurus, always good card. Instead of attacking, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and inflict that monster's attack to your opponent's life points. So, it's great for getting rid of things like Blue Eyes, Alternative, and things of that nature. Next we have Dark Rebellion Dragon, Castell, and Evil Swarm Ouroboros as my rank 4 choices. Now, you could definitely drop any one of these to include any other rank 4 that you want, or for Cowboy would be my first choice, but I found this playset works well. Castell to bounce any pesky cards over on, because I can get rank 4s out fairly easily. And then Dark Rebellion Dragon, just because, for 2 level 4s, 2500, it's a pretty good effect. A pretty good attack and stats. And then finally, we have the 3 Howitzers. So when this card is summoned during your turn, you can inflict 1,000 points of burn damage to your opponent. this card, what's special about him is he cannot be destroyed by card effects. So your opponent pretty much has to either dark hole him or some sort of card that doesn't target, and then or he has to crash into him, which you want to do because he's only got 1,000 attack, he's only got 1,800 defense. So people will foolishly crash into him, and then when he is destroyed, he summons one of your two big beat sticks. So for this really easy to make fusion, he brings out one of two 3,000 attack monsters. So guys, that is the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below if you like these kind of videos or if you just want pure competitive. I have a few other fun non-meta decks that do work. Some even involving things like Scapegoat. So let me know if you guys would like to see that, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.